Alright Blues, and welcome to episode 1 of the Daily Blues, where every single day we're going to be bringing you the latest City news, whether it be transfer rumours, injury news, just a roundup from the day's game before. We'll just give you anything, but it'll be every single day, and this is episode 1. And we're going to be starting off by looking back at the Crystal Palace game on Saturday. 5 in 5 now for City. I don't know how we managed to win that game on Saturday. We had chances. Let's not talk too much about Jesus Navas, because I'll go off on one. But we weren't at our best, but we won 1-0, and it is the sign of champions. Like all of the pundits have said this weekend, you've got to win those games, and somehow we pulled it out of the bag. A star was born, Kelechi Iheanacho, who we've talked about a fair bit over the last 12 months. He's made his mark now, hasn't he, in the Premier League? He came on, he had no time at all to change the game. He didn't really change the game, but he did exactly what you want a striker to do, especially that young as well. He was there at the right place, the right time, and he scored the winning goal. So I'm absolutely over the moon for him. I just don't know if we're going to regret not having him in the Champions League squad, which we'll move on to now. With the 1-0 win was great, but it did come at a price. Sterling picked up a knock before the game, which was bad enough. And then Sergio Aguero was scythed down by Scott Dann. I'll come on to the referee in a minute. But it looked like a real nasty one on the knee. We're not going to find out the extent of it until later on today, after the press conferences, I imagine. So we'll let you know later on in our match preview for the Juventus game. But we might go into that game with only one striker, Wilfried Bony. I thought Wilfried Bony was very good against Palace. Some of you gave him a bit of a rough time on social media, but I thought he was good, held the ball up well. The link-up play was excellent with the midfield, but Jesus Navas was appalling on Saturday. I've backed him to the hilt on everything that I've been on here, and he was dreadful. If we hadn't have won that game, we would have been looking back at that chance maybe in a few months and saying, oh, we should have won that game and Navas should have scored that goal. However, I'm sure he will start against Juventus, so we're going to have to get behind him again. But going into that Juventus game then, Wilfried Bony, will we now? I'm already getting annoyed. We've got one striker fit potentially if Aguero is out. So there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Let's have a quick word about the referee in that game. Mike Jones, he was awful. It was absolutely awful. Palace should have had a penalty. Scott Dann should have been sent off for just lumping Aguero. He was nowhere near the ball. He just kicked him off the ball. He was only booked. City should have had a penalty. He was awful. But anyway, we won the game, 5 in 5, 0 goals conceded, top of the league, 5 points clear of second place, 11 points clear of Chelsea, who are going down at this rate, which would be a bit of a laugh, wouldn't it? But anyway, I want to know your comments on the game. I want to know what you thought. It wasn't a great performance, was it? But let us know your thoughts on the game. Like this video if you're excited to see our daily stuff back. Subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you later for the Juventus preview.
I think we won 2-1. Is it 2-1? 3-0. 3-0, we won 3-0! We won 3-0!
Top of the league!